over.
Oh, hey, you can sit with us.
Hi, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Skin Society. We are so excited to talk to you guys about this one today because we got a lot of feedback in the DMs about the hardships of being a solo esthetician. So that's exactly what this podcast is about today. And we're going to just jump right into it. We're going to start off talking about how we got started. So, Krista, you were started first.
Yeah.
So we'll start with Krista.
So I got started at being an esthetician in 2019, I believe I went to school.
Mm-hmm.
2019, I went to school. When I started at a home-based business, which I still have today. What I did not know when I started in 2019 at 2020, COVID will hit.
COVID. Right.
So I think I graduated school in November. I had my first clients by December. Had a good month. Like I went from having one client literally to having 15 clients.
You hit the ground running.
I really got the ball running. And after that, and it was just word of mouth. Like literally, I knew one girl, she worked in the hair salon, she told these other girls, and then that's how it got going. Then I had another client that was a cop, she told all her friends. So that's how I got the ball pretty much jumping. Then COVID hit.
Yeah.
And we were forced to shut down. And my whole thing was, I just bought all this product. What I'm going to do with it? Because I didn't know when we were going to open back up. I started e-commerce. And that's how I was able to float my business. Like doing,
what school, so you went from, did you like build your business? Because I see where you're going, but I want to kind of like, so break them down so they don't want to wait, what happened? Okay, so you went to school.
So I went to school. And so let me say this. I had two options with going with school. I could either go full-time or part-time.
Mm-hmm.
The hustler in me knew I cannot start a full business by going full-time, which is 8 weeks.
Right.
There's no way I can gather as much information I need to get inventory, do all these things. So I took the part-time route.
Right.
And during the day, while school started at like 5 o'clock, so during the day I was doing my research, getting the inventory, studying everything I knew, getting like the business aspect set up, like my paperwork, all that, because that takes time, getting all your paperwork done. So during the day, I was getting my paperwork done, and then at night, I would go to school. And I knew that 5 months would give me enough time to get my business up and running.
Right.
So when I graduated, I was fully ready to go. I had inventory, I had all my licenses.
Yeah.
And then in PA, you can take your test early. So I was actually a licensed esthetician before I even graduated esthetician school.
I was in PA too.
Yeah, I remember I told you, I was like, man, you got to do it this way. This is how you're going to do it.
Yeah.
So I don't know a lot of people know that, but you can do that. Once you accumulate
a certain
amount of hours, you can actually take the test early. So when I graduated, I think it was around Thanksgiving week. So after Thanksgiving, I didn't have to go back to school. I waited for my license to come in the mail. By December, I was up and running as an esthetician.
That's so good.
And you did state board?
Yes, I did state board. Like went downtown, armpit sweating, like went downtown, sitting in that room, looking at all these people. Like I did definitely do state board. Then when fast forward to March, COVID hits.
Right.
So I was like, damn, how am I make money? And I think that's around the time me and you and I really met. Yeah. Through Instagram, I started doing what's that shit called? Virtual consultations.
Yeah.
Via Skype, and then I was selling them the products, and that's how I kept my business afloat until we were allowed to open back up during COVID. But it was really, really hard. Like it was not easy. By far, like being a solo esthetician and just coming out of school and then your business is shut down. You're in a service industry. So you're thinking like, how am I gonna make money if I can't see clients?
Right. See, I didn't have the COVID affect the business thing because I started at the end of COVID when we started opening back up. So I went to school in the end of 2020. And then I graduated in 2021. I got my license in PA first. And then once I graduated, I got my license in Jersey. But I didn't have to do the underarm sweating state board thing because it was during COVID. And COVID, the state board had shut down. So we only had to do the theory part. And then, so I was able to get my license by like working with somebody. And then they sign off on my paperwork. I didn't have to like physically go there and do the thing, which I think is so stupid anyways, because it's so dated. When you gotta like do the facial in front of it's so dated.
So
like
here's the thing. With my test, I was so honed on skincare. I paid zero attention to makeup. My friend Stephanie at the time, when we had to do the makeup part in school, she taught me about it. So I'm very like a hands-on learner. So if you teach me something once, I learn it, I got it, I would never forget it. And 90% of my questions was on makeup. I was like,
No,
so it
my
was
Philly test had a lot of makeup questions.
It had a lot of makeup questions on it, and thank God my friend Steph taught me so much at that point in time, because I'd have been effed up because I had zero interest in makeup. I didn't care what an angle brush was. I didn't care what a contour brush was. I didn't care about none of that stuff.
Skin.
Yeah, it was just skin for me, and that was that.
That's crazy. We didn't have to like do all of that. Like we didn't have to. It was a good thing. I was like, oh, I kind of got finished school at a good time because like, and then the date was so far pushed back. But like I said, I started in 2021. But before I even had one client, before I had my Jersey license, I got this office. So the office that we're in right now is the same office that I got right out of school. One of my friends is a realtor, so she was just like, the same one. If y'all watch the Chemical Pill story,
same girl.
So I'm not gonna forget her name.
So yeah, she I was like trying to get an office because at first I was gonna do it because I got a really, really big basement, and I was gonna do it there too. But I'm like, Tev, like, nah, I don't want people knowing. I'm like, that's true. So I was doing people at home, like while I was in school, like family and friends, just to kind of get comfortable. And I'm like, because at first I just wanted my aesthetic license for true skincare purposes. I didn't want to be an esthetician. Yeah. But then I fell in love with the process, the transformation. I'm like, oh my gosh.
It's like hard not to.
It's so hard not to. I fell in love with it. I was obsessed. And I was like, okay, I'm doing this. She's like, are you doing this? I'm like, I'm doing this. And then Zoe, she's a real estate agent. So she needed somewhere like a headquarters for her to just like pull comps, a place away from home because she has kids. Yeah. So when I first got this place, it was that room there, and then this room where we're in, and this was her side, and that was my side. But she was never here. She literally had a glass desk here, and that was it. So when people would come in, they would kind of be like, and I'm like, oh, come in this side. And they'd be like, oh, it's nice. Yeah. So like she was here for a few months, and I told her like, friend, I love you, but you're not here. I just need to make this whole thing yours. Yeah. So then I ended up, but fast forward, I didn't have no client. I mean, backtrack. I didn't have any clients. I literally, the first month that I opened, I probably saw 2 people, and it was people that I knew. And then I saw a friend of mine, Omi, in a Hellcat. Okay. He posted it. It was up since then. Yeah, he's a YouTuber. Oh, okay. Yeah, he's a friend too. So he came, he got a facial. Wait, that's not even talk about, because this is all about hardships, right? So not only did I get this place, I also bought a fucking brand new hydrofacial machine.
I remember that.
Without one client, she was talking me out of it. I was like, no, I gotta treat myself. I want it. Yeah. It was without one client, but I felt like because I was like, when I want something, I want to go hard. I want it like I hit the ground running. Like I go full speed. I don't stop. So I was like, damn, like all right, so I'm paying this machine, and I didn't have not one client, but I will say he came in, got that service, and then from then, hydrofacial has been a success for me. And that's what made me, because people I think it's also, I didn't do a good job promoting because I didn't want people from my personal page coming to my skincare page. Like, I wanted to be 2 completely different worlds. Like, even though I wanted to start new. I want to be who I am and find my way in the aesthetics industry. But
you know what's crazy? Your biggest supporter or your biggest client that will go for you will never be somebody you know.
That's why I didn't even want to try.
It's so crazy. I have all these on my personal page, I don't have a lot of followers, but I can count how many people have came to me off my personal page, and it's like, I think a lot of times too, people, and I have talked to you about this, people look at us and be like, oh, she got this and she got that. I ain't supporting her because she already got this.
She needs money.
Yes, I do. She use my money on this, and it's like, girl, what are you talking about? Like, right. What are you talking about? That the 2 don't even go hand in hand. I'm good at skin because I'm good at skin. Right. I'm good at dressing because I'm good at dressing. Those 2 have nothing to do with one another. Yeah. So I think a lot of times people from our personal world look at us and be like, I know she good, but I ain't ever gonna go to her. Right.
That's tea. That's crazy. How did you start, Maria?
That's true. I started school in 2019, the end of 2019. Yeah. I remember I told you guys in the first episode I went to 2 different schools. Yeah. I actually started at home. I built I had a room in my house, and I was doing it from there. Mostly it was friends and family, and I was still in school when I started. And then February of 2020, I got a space that I was starting out of. Yeah. I had set it out, I'm opening February 1st, 2020. I was working full-time at the time at Rutgers University. Okay. And a lot of things transpired at that job that forced me to either decide I'm gonna quit and do my business full time, or I'm going to kind of put the business on the back burner and just keep a job. Right? I'm so happy you chose the business. Girl, me too. Period. And it was a state job. I had state benefits. They paid for school.
They paid for your esthetician?
Yeah, no, not for esthetician school, but for my bachelor's, they did pay for it. If I would have stood, it would have paid all the way to my PhD. But that's besides the point. I opened up quit my job January 2020. Opened up February 2020, and then mid-March had to close because of COVID.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So you were in the thick of COVID. Both
Girl,
of you
I was devastated.
But here's the thing I would tell people. Just because I went through COVID didn't shut shit down for me.
COVID made me.
Yeah, COVID made me. Like,
built me.
I'm a self-made COVID baby. Like,
that's
because
it.
when I was open back up, like, May, by August, I had no space to see. I was like, I can't take no more new clients.
Right.
Like, my books were so crazy. And I know people will say, oh, you had pandemic money. Bring it back. Bring it back.
So I will say that I wasn't seeing clients. I was in school during COVID because COVID happened in March. I started school in COVID happened in March 2020. I started school in the end of December or October. So COVID was already a thing, and we did virtual for a very long time. Yeah. And then they finally let us into the building. Okay. And then that was how.
So I was in the nitty gritty of COVID. Yeah. I literally I started school part-time, went full-time in February. Yeah. Mid-March had to basically go virtual online. And I was taking clients while I was in school. I started in February. I didn't graduate until right at the end of March. Yeah. But for me it was hard because during that time they didn't know what they were doing with state boards. Yeah. So the attestation thing didn't come about until a while after. I had a temporary license for almost a year and a half.
That's crazy.
Oh, wow.
Before I was able to, they came out with the attestation form. I got my form signed and then got my official license. But I was in the nitty gritty of COVID, so everything was when I tell y'all, I literally cried every day to my boyfriend. Every day.
Really?
Yes, I can't believe I quit my full-time job.
Because it was the uncertainty of it. Yeah.
I applied for unemployment. I never received $1 of unemployment. All through COVID, I never got $1 of unemployment.
Did you get your stimulus?
I did get my stimulus, which is how I was funding my business. Yeah. And then what I did was I was doing online consultations. Yeah. But I sold little facial kits online.
Oh, yeah.
And it was around the holiday time, so it was perfect. I went live and kind of built my clientele from there. And then when we opened up in June, I was like, Krista, was just back to back.
But you know what it is too? It's your personality. Yeah. I think a lot of people misconstrue who you are. Yeah. A lot of my clients I like you because you're real, you're authentic, you're the girl, they feel like the girl next door to me. It's not like I'm this prim and proper princess that I'm oh, so I don't talk a certain way. They can relate to me because they're my girl. I'm the girl next door to them. A lot of people sometimes want somebody that's going to be relatable. That's relatable. So most estheticians get in oh, you're not professional. Says who? Because I'm not professional in your world.
And who labels professional?
Right. Who labels professionalism? One thing I have learned through when you watch a lot of business people like Russell Simmons, he always say, I show up as myself because I'm promoting my culture, my community, my type of people. And guess what? I have learned, if I'm not the esthetician for you, I'm not for you, but I'm not dumbing down who I am just so you can be comfortable in my space. Mm-hmm. Right. Because it's my name on the door. Yeah. It's my name on the taxes. It's my name on everything. So I'm not going to fit inside your world when you want to fit inside my world. Yep. That's not going to happen.
And then what's for you, and what's not for not. Yeah. COVID actually funded me going to school, meaning because I was doing skincare and selling skincare online. And it paid for the whole thing. Nice. That's why I didn't affect my either business because people was at home. Everybody wanted to take care of their skin, so I can understand how both of you guys thrived. Yeah. Through the economics world, it was a downtime. Eating during COVID. I was like, look, I bought Tevin his birthday was during COVID. I dropped $15,000 on him for a motorcycle. Oh, wow. I was balling during COVID. But you can everybody.
COVID was a self-reflection time because people would sit on them Zoom cameras and they was looking at their skin my skin really
I actually think that we can go for another, a mini COVID, something like 3 weeks. Or something.
I don't want to do that again in the house with them kids.
So you mentioned taxes. So I want to reroute us. Yes. You mentioned taxes. Let's talk about the importance of just keeping accounting and keeping up with your stuff. To be honest, when I first started, I didn't care. I didn't do it. I just was I was going with the flow. I didn't realize the importance of it until that. Because I have 2 businesses, so I did it with the first one. Yeah. And I was damn, this is crazy. But with this one, I didn't do it at first. I literally just baby stepped
started to do it because you can't run from Uncle Sam.
I know. And Uncle Sam ain't know. My shit was cash and Uncle Sam ain't got shit on me. But
go ahead. But what I was about to say is that a lot of people forget that you got to pay Uncle Sam. They forget that he is the Messiah? Whatever it is.
I wouldn't call him that.
No, he is, what do you call it? I don't want to go to jail. Let's put it like that. So you got to remember when you have like, if you don't know how to do your taxes on your own, you need to basically outsource it.
I got a better idea, right? So so that we might have a new SC watching this, right?
Yeah.
So let's tell them the essentials that they need, because we're talking about the struggles. Okay. So it's hard when you first start. Most people don't have a bunch of money to open a space. Like we were all fortunate enough to like get a space right out. You know what I mean? So funding. Make sure your credit is right. You can always get money and help through funding through these banks, loans. So the first thing, if you're about to go to school now, while you're in school, simultaneously work on building your credit, because you're gonna be in school for what? And up here is what, like 5-6 months? For me, it was 8 months because of COVID.
But also with credit, don't take money you can't afford to pay back. I see a lot of people on these podcasts like, oh, you can just set up your business EIN and then you get $50K worth of. But if you taking out $50K,
so I think it's
you can't pay $50K back. That's just crazy, because then you're putting your personal assets in a hole.
No, that's what happens when you do it with your business. You can file it. Why do you think Trump filed for bankruptcy so much?
But still, it
won't affect you. It's your business credit.
But your business credit is attached to your personal.
It depends
name.
how you.
It depends on how you. So if you're the guarantor. So for example, right, I have an Amex for my business.
Okay.
And when I look on my credit for my personal credit, it don't show you that I owe my Amex. My Amex is not even on there.
So what if you don't pay back your business credit money?
I'm not the guarantor on that. I used my because my business had how you get it? Like Uline and stuff like that. So just the business history alone.
Okay.
Yeah, it's my name on there, but when I applied, I didn't put in my social. Do you know that you can use your EIN too?
Well, your EIN is attached.
It depends on how you build. Like if you're in an LLC, it's connected to your social.
So, but you can file for bankruptcy too.
Yeah, but who wants to file for
No,
bankruptcy?
I'm saying for the business. For the business, I wouldn't do that. But what I was about to say is, I wouldn't take money.
Don't take money. Basically,
I think the point.
Don't take money that you can't afford.
No, not even afford to pay back. Don't take money without a plan.
Right.
Because that's
why a lot of people go under, because they take money that they can't afford.
Okay, so you said without a plan. Let's revert back.
Yeah.
Right?
So
everybody, if you're starting as a solo esthetician, at least this is true for me. So I'll speak for me, but. I feel like I didn't take it serious as far as like having a business plan. Very crucial. And I'm talking about down to your demographic. Like, you should
I didn't
know
do that either in the beginning.
Your clientele to the
well,
T.
That's why
I want a 46-year-old stay-at-home mom, that lives in whatever township. Like, it should be that specific.
Exactly.
You should have systems in place that policies, inventory, accounting, a list of expenses, tracking your income, even if it is cash and you're going under the table to start off with. Nothing's wrong with that. We all did that.
Yeah, I was under the table for keep a year.
Keep track of it.
Yeah. No, not a year. Like maybe like 6-7 months before I was okay.
Yeah, and I mean, listen, it's loopholes. People out here get rich by finding the loopholes.
Yeah.
If you find it, do it. Just do it the right way.
Do it smart.
The point is build a strong foundation, right?
Yeah.
If your foundation is good, when you start to grow and you start to get all these opportunities, right? Nothing is gonna stop you. The last thing you want is to build something so big.
Yeah.
And get to this point and then it crumbles.
Yeah, because it ain't got nothing.
Well, my husband always say, like, you are in control of your business. You the only person that can fuck this up.
Yeah,
literally. Like, you are the only person that can fuck up your own business, because if you're not getting up every day with that same grind and that same hustle you had at day one, what are you gonna think is gonna happen at day 577? Like, it's gonna literally fall apart.
So that's perfect. Yeah. So how do you guys deal with burnout? Because burnout is real when you own your own business.
You know I'm burnt out.
Listen, I be ready to quit every week.
I'm burnt out.
I be ready to quit every week. Like, I want to home be a housewife. I don't want to deal with this no more. I'm not.
So what do you do? Like, what do you say to yourself? Like what happens that you're like, you realize like, okay, like I'm burnt out. My body's telling me I need to slow down. I need a break. How do you reset?
I sleep.
I
sleep it in, because like I'm running on fumes. I run multiple businesses, so y'all know I'm working 7 days a week.
Yeah.
So sometimes this is what I do. I'll look at my schedule. If I only got like one on for like a Thursday, I'll block the rest of the day off. I'll do that one person. Like I'll look at it like a week or two. I'm like, okay, I can schedule. Like I'm forcing myself to schedule days off, because it's like you get burnt out, and then like I will sleep all day, and he just look at me like, dang, you tired? I'm like, yo, I'm exhausted. And then a spa, I go to get massages. Ruby, you know, that's our spot. Yeah. I go to massages, and then I started to prioritize my time with God too, because I feel like that really makes me feel like, okay, I feel at home, I feel at peace. Even if I'm tired, I just sit down and read my Bible for like an hour. Self-development, that really helps me feel like, okay. And then also just learning that you don't have to say yes to everything. Yeah. Don't overwork yourself, because I've done it and I've crashed. Like you will burn yourself out. I'm slowly starting to draw myself back and stop playing the lead role and everything that I'm a part of. Yeah, starting to pull back. Yeah, and that's the thing about solo estheticians. Who we delegating to? Nobody. Because we're doing try as much as you can. We are everything. We are marketing and promoting. We are the esthetician. We are the receptionist, the accountant. That's what I'm saying. So like, and then we the bank too. Unless you have like a partner that's gonna help you, you the bank. Or unless you like have rich parents, you the bank. Everything's coming from you. So people like, how do I start? That's why I said, get your credit together. Funding is good, but don't take no money and then go shopping. Yeah, that's what to Miami. Yeah, if you can get $50,000 through your EIN, do it. But make a plan. If you're serious about your business, you shouldn't have any fear about taking any money from the banks.
And a business plan is easy to do. Like, you can literally.
I did mine in school. I told you.
Yeah, you can do it in school. There's templates online. Yeah. Like, it's very easy, but it's very important because I was part of an event with her name is Adi. She's Glowology, and she's in Berlin. Love her. She just had an event about entrepreneurs and just kind of like supporting each other because it's hard, right? Yeah, and in that, we kind of talked about how burnout is real, but having a set plan and writing things down hold you accountable, number one. Exactly. But also, there's always something that you can go back to, right? Like, you write your vision down, you write what you want your business to stand for, the vision board, and then from there, because it's hard. The hardest thing about being a solo is kicking yourself in the butt when you don't have no motivation. Yep. Or when you feel like I'm done. I literally am burnt out. I have nothing to give. That's the hardest part for all of us, right?
Yeah. Like, it's easy to be an employee. Mm-hmm. It's so easy. You get paid regardless. Let's talk about that. Mm-hmm. The fact that, like, were you about to say something before I go on?
I was about to say, like, for me, with my burnout, I have learned, the reason why I became an esthetician was to spend more time with my family. Right. I went from working at a job where I was going, like, my son growing up, I don't remember none of that. Wow. So when my daughter, because I was always at work. So when my daughter was born, my husband was like, you need to be a stay-at-home mom. Like, you keep leaving and going to work. So I was like, okay, when it gets to a certain point, I'm going to be a stay-at-home mom, but the hustle in me has to work. I have to make my own money. So when I became an esthetician, when I first started, I was like, okay, I'm going to see clients from 8 to 7. And I was like, what are you doing? You just left a job from doing that to going back to doing that. So I be telling people, like, I be seeing clients from 9 to 12, and I'm done for the rest of the day. I love that. I make my schedule to go the way I want it to go, and I don't let them control me. So when they be like, oh, you don't have nothing? No, I don't have nothing. Yeah. These are my working hours. This is my schedule. I need to be there to pick up my daughter. I need to be there for my son.
Boundaries.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I need to be there for my kid because that's the reason why I stopped working for somebody else. It's not about the money. No. It's about me being there for my children.
Especially when you're starting out. It's so hard to set that boundary when you're starting out because you feel like you need to take any client. You need to take them at any time because you want to retain that client. Yeah. But I think that's very important. That's something that I didn't do when I started, and it bit me in the butt afterwards, right? Because what happens is you start going against your hours and your policies, and you build clientele who aren't your ideal clientele.
Yep. So my ideal clientele is that girl that can, skip out on her lunch break at 10 a.m. on a Tuesday.
I love when they do that.
And come get a facial. My ideal clientele is pretty much not the person that needs to be here at 8 o'clock at night because you want to see me after you're done 90% of your errands. I got a family too. Yep. And I tell you, if I can stay late, but guess who's going to be blowing us up the whole entire facial? Jade. She's going to be looking for me because she's so used to mommy being there to make her dinner, to pick her up from school, to do all these things. So my business structure runs around my family. Mm-hmm. And it works for me. Like, I don't know what may work for somebody else. It may not work for you, but it works for me. And the income stays the same because my ideal client are the girls that come to me during the day. I see more clients on a Tuesday and a Wednesday than I will see ever on a Saturday and Sunday. No one comes to me on those days.
Yep. Right. I love that, though. I love that you prioritizing the family, and I like that you stood on it. That's real.
Because people hate this. They're like, oh, you don't have nothing. I don't.
I'm addicted to working.
Take a day off.
I'm addicted.
But you know where I think that comes from? Because we thought they get a little deep, but I feel like, at least for me, like, I feel like that comes from a space of growing up and not having a lot, right? Yeah. Like, I feel like we have, like, this scarcity mindset all the time. Like, I'm not making enough. I need to make more money. Or if I'm not working, I don't feel productive.
But e-commerce is a great way. I didn't mean to cut you off. But so I make money when I'm not at work. Right. That was the whole thing to build.
Retail, y'all.
Retail
is key.
I read, I don't know if I'm saying this quote right, but I read somewhere, real being a boss is where you're not trading your time.
When you making money in your sleep.
And when you're making money in your sleep. So I will wake up and I have a gang of orders. That's why I'm making money. I'm making money and I haven't even stepped foot inside my workspace. Yeah. So e-commerce, if you're a beginning esthetician and you're trying to find that extra like niche to get you there, go on Square Up, create your website, put your products up on there, and start your
all free, by the way.
Yes, all free. This is all free business stuff that you can start your own e-commerce, and that way while you're sleeping or when you're in Miami, you're making money. That's the goal. That's the goal, to make money while you're not at work. Stop trading your time. For service? Is that what it is? You're trading your time for service. So when people say, "Oh, well, you're wasting my time," I was expecting you to be here. Yeah, you don't show up.
So that's I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Jump right into
it. Go ahead.
That's that policy right there, right? So you show up here, you don't show up here, you got an appointment. I'm charging that card.
Exactly.
Y'all need to stand on your policies.
Yeah. Exactly.
And have policies but you have to. It's on my booking site when somebody goes to book. So as a solo esthetician, what do you do when a client doesn't show up? You charge their card. So what if you do if they don't put a card on file? You slap yourself in the ass because they shouldn't have a card on file, right?
So here's what I do. So if you're a client of mine and you already booked your appointment, I get it. I'm a mom. Shit happens. I can't control whether my kid is sick or not. If you text me literally the night before, I won't charge you. But if I'm already drove an hour to the city and you're texting me at 9:05, hey, I'm not going to make it today, I'm charging you. Yeah. But if you let me know prior in advance and I could have stayed home or I could have took another client, then you know what? I'll be like, okay, can we just rebook you for another day? And I won't charge you. So I have a little grace and wiggle.
I have a 24-hour policy. So like if it's an emergency, my client like, so they'll send me a picture like my tire just blew out. Oh, all right. Yeah. And then if it's somebody that come frequently, but if it's somebody that never books and then they always late. Yeah. Just never. Yeah. They don't like, cause I'm human. So I'll let it, you reach out to me. I'll let it slide the first time. But if you're constantly somebody that's late and don't show up, I'm charging your business policies. Yeah, I'm charging. Yeah. The policies are important. You have to put them in place. If they're not in place, people will run over you, and then you will lose yourself in your business. And then you start feeling
that's my weak point, y'all.
I told you need to stand 10 toes down. I had a client.
Put it in there.
Listen,
get a backbone.
I had a client had my mom call me because she was in jail. It was like she's not gonna make it to her appointment. If she didn't think to call me and say like I'm in jail, when I get out in a week, I'll be there. Yeah. Then it's like people have to value y'all connection, your relationship, and that's why building a relationship with someone is very more important when building your clientele. It's easy for someone to come in and you just do a facial and you just send them out the door. But ask them about their kids, and then when they come back, say, "Yo, how's your son doing?" Remember your client's name. Remember their kid's name. Remember their grandma's.
That's gonna make them respect your policy.
No, not respecting your policy. But I realized most of my clients, we are like literally homegirls at this point. Yeah. And we have a rapport. So when they don't show up, they're literally letting me know a couple days.
Oh, you saying that she'll know, like, I know her son was sick. She told me, okay.
Yeah, I know her son was sick. People care more about what you remember about their personal life. And I learned this in dentistry. When we was in dentistry, we would take notes of what they was going through. Your son just went to college. People have more of a relationship with people. They be like, okay, damn, she really care about me.
You really care about me. So that means they would care about you.
Exactly.
By letting you know.
So when people disrespect your policies, they don't respect you as a service provider. Gotcha. So you got to keep the two respect goes hand in hand. Whether you talk like me or you don't talk like me, you can come across as the most cookie cutter girl, but people can smell bullshit a mile away. So if you dressed all prim and proper, you got on this fancy suit and your arms is crossed, but you're a bitch. People gonna read that you're a bitch. They ain't gonna disrespect your policies. People respect me because I'm the girl next door. Yeah. Oh, you sick? Okay, babe, let me send you some flowers. I get that you're going through something. Let me send you something else. So when it comes to your business, you have to have that business aspect of, I want to show up as me, but I want people to respect me as well.
Let me say something really quick. What you just said triggered a thought. I'm sorry to cut you off.
So go ahead.
You know what was my biggest hardship with being a solo esthetician? Expecting unlimited support from friends, family, and people that always reach out to me about skin stuff. Yeah. I expected so much support, and I didn't get that. That was like the biggest thing. Like it kind of like hurt my feelings a little bit. Well, and then I'm about to get into it. Matter of fact, tune in to next week's episode. Yes. We're gonna leave this right here.
This was a lot.
This was a lot. Yeah. We're gonna keep this thing rolling, and you can see the next one next week. So I hope y'all like, dang, what was she about to say? Yeah. It's coming next week. Follow the next episode. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you are excited to hear what we have to talk about family and friends.
Okay.